Hi, Doug. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Gilbert. Yourself?
Pretty good. Summer's winding down, and we're getting ready for active markets again.
Yeah, no, it's great. Very excited for that a little later here in September, and that'll be great.
Sure. So maybe you can just start off by giving us a quick intro about yourself and your company, Geologica.
Sure. No, that sounds great. So I have been an entrepreneur since the mid 80s. I don't know how many years that is, too many. And 20 over 20 years of that involved with public markets and incubating private companies and taking them public and with listings in Canada, the US, and Europe. And my educational background, I have a Bachelor of Science and a Master's in Business Administration. So I can put both of those to work on a regular basis, along with my many years of experience as an entrepreneur and in public markets. So it's pretty good. And as far as Geologica, we formed the company into the mining space in 2020, listed the company in 2022 on the Canadian Securities Exchange. And really the focus of the company is on copper. We think that with electrification and our failing infrastructure, that copper is going to be a very, very critical component moving forward. And, you know, the company, we only have 25 million shares outstanding, and less than 15 million of those are actually in brokerage accounts that can be traded. So we have a lot of long-term shareholders in the company, which will be great for us moving forward, allowing our valuations to increase.
Great to hear. So your main project, the Topley Copper-Gold project in Central BC, any strategic reason why you choose to work there, and what's the potential of this project?
Yeah, so I mean, again, the focus of the company is on copper, because again, you know, we see the need in electrification and the downside of the amount of copper that's available. I mean, if you look at market statistics, the supply demand by next year, 2024, demand is going to outstrip supply, and the only way that governments can reach their goals for reducing carbon is through electrification, which is going to be a huge demand on copper. The property specific is in the Babine porphyry area, and that area has been very prolific in copper and gold development. There's the Granisle and Bell mines that are just north of us, and our property is on strike with those mines, and they were copper and gold properties at the time. We also like British Columbia. We have a stable government environment here, very mining friendly compared to a lot of other jurisdictions. And the property itself has road access year round, has power running right through the property that used to feed the Granisle and Bell mines. So, you know, in the point of developing a mine in the future, all the infrastructure is already in place. And we're really excited about the results that we got over the last year on our soil and geophysics, which identified several copper and gold targets on the property. So we're really pumped moving forward over this next sort of exploration season.
So let's just talk about some of the recent announcement you've got there. You have announced some recent progress in the induced IP survey done on Topley Landing. Maybe you can tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, we're looking at doing that IP surveys this fall. You know, it's taking time these days to get your permitting into place and getting consent for the First Nations. So we're a little behind on doing that, but we now have the waiver from the government to do this work, and we also have permission from the First Nation on that property to go ahead and work on the IP. So we're really excited to be able to get moving forward on that. And we have an area where the gold and copper targets from the geophysics and soil are sort of indicating where we should be doing the IP. So we'll complete that IP this fall. We can access the property year round. So once we have some drilling permits in place over the winter, then we'll be able to go ahead and do some drilling on the property. And we're probably looking at drilling maybe 5 holes to start with at this point, and depending on the IP, that could increase.
So you mentioned about the drilling exploration work. Are you looking to raise any capital anytime soon?
Yeah, we're looking to actually go to the markets and raise some capital here in the fall, because we want to have the money in place to be able to do that drilling once the permits are available for us to do that. And you know, with the new flow-through programs for critical metals, which we are available to take on, and also in BC, the additional tax credits for areas where there's been pine beetle infestation in the past, so we get that extra 10%. So with you know, flow-throughs in Geologica, somebody in the top tax bracket that would invest, say, $10,000, they may get tax credits alone in excess of $11,000. So it's a pretty good area for doing that kind of exploration and raising money to do it at this point.
Good to know. So one last question here. Do you think your company Geologica is undervalued right now? And another one I want to add to the table is what's your thoughts about copper? You mentioned about copper. Are you really positive about copper's price in the near future or long term?
Oh, I'm super excited about the value of copper in the sort of near term, being 2024, and the long term. You know, you look at Chile, one of the large producers, that, you know, their big mines there are now getting into ore that doesn't have the concentrations of copper that it used to have. So that's getting more expensive for them to mine. It's also the amount that's available to come to market is significantly going to reduce from the lifetime of these older copper mines. So we really are in need of new copper supplies. And especially here in North America, we really don't have any large copper producers here right now. And so, yeah, I think that the market for copper, with the upcoming increase in demand and lack of supply, we're going to see the price of copper go up, and the value of copper explorers increase substantially. As for so I you know, that's one of the reasons I see that we're undervalued, is there's not that recognition right now of the supply and demand curve, you know. And where our value is not being recognized at this point is that it's not easy these days to get a permit to move forward in exploration. Everything's taking longer and longer to do post pandemic. So we're in a great position that we have that permission from the First Nations and the government to complete this IP work. And our space, we can work year round where we are in central British Columbia. And we're in, you know, elephant territory for copper gold mining and production. I mean, we have the old Granisle and Bell mines that are just north of us by about 10 kilometers. We have gold producers 10 kilometers to the west. We have lots of activity, silver and copper and gold production to the south of us, as far as lots of exploration going on. So we're in a great area. We have great results from the work that we've done so far, and we're ready to move forward to the next stages through the property. And we have a very tight share structure, which a lot of these companies don't have. They have hundreds of millions of shares out, and ours isn't anything like that.
Sure. Thank you for your time, Doug, here today, for sharing your story with us.
Well, hey, no problem. Glad to be on with you today, Gilbert.
Great. Looking forward to talking to you next time.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to seeing you too. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.